Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So just a note real quick, this intro is going to be a little bit long, so if you don't want to, watch it, just go to the next clip. So we're going to work on this peyote bracelet with inclusions today, and this is a version of the Empress bracelet that I made quite a while ago, and one of my viewers, Vickie, she made the bracelet and she put some bicones in, and see how there's like an opening in the diamonds to fit the bicones. Now, when she posted it on Facebook and everybody liked it so much they wanted a pattern. So she messaged me and told me that, asked me if I would make a pattern and make a video for everybody. And because she didn't have a pattern, she just kind of winged it. She did it by trial and error. So I said, okay, I will. And so she showed me her, I have a picture of her sample, and then I went to my peyote books and I got, I sort of figured out how to do it. Now, just a note, I am not a peyote expert when it comes to writing patterns, even following patterns. So this is just what I kind of figured out on my own. If I'm sure, or I don't know, there could be a way to do this out there from a peyote expert that is much easier or better or more elegant than mine. However, this is what I did. It was a challenge, but it was a lot of fun. So here are the, two examples of the other bracelet without the inclusions. And here, remember, we did the earrings. So we have a whole series of little Empress things. So here's the bracelet. I think it's so gorgeous. That's what it looks like. Love the inclusions. It looks so pretty. Thank you, Vickie, for doing this and, giving me a little project to work on. So I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to clear this off, get a materials list going, and we'll get started. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you'll need 2 colors of Delicas. And so you need a background color, and then you'll need the pattern color, so this sort of trellis pattern. You need a 4mm bicone. Here's a stop bead. I have a size 10 beading needle. I have 8-pound Fireine, black satin. I have some wax to wax my thread. You'll need this clasp. I only had one, so I'm just going to leave it here. So this is the Elegant Elements clasp by Claspgarten, and it's a 10 by 24mm clasp for this. Now, you don't have to use this clasp. I have a video that shows the endings for this particular bracelet, the original bracelet, and it has multiple endings. So you can, choose whatever ending you like. And one other thing that helped me a bit, because I had to learn this, is this little peyote stitch companion book. It's by Interweave, Melinda Barda, and it's this little book that has like all kinds. It's very simple. It's like all the basic stuff, sort of stitches you need, and it did have increases and decreases in there, so that helped me a little bit. And it had edgings. I think it's a cool little book. It's like I said, it's very basic, but it gives you everything, pretty much everything you need to know. If this is still available, I'll link it in the description box below the video. I think I got it on Amazon. I'll check and I'll put a link down there. Okay, so this is everything you need. So again, everything's going to be in the description box below the video. Sizes, color, shapes, amounts of beads, places you can purchase beads if you need to, etc. So I'm going to clear this off and we'll get started. Okay, let's get started. So I have my A bead, my B bead, and my bicone. And of course, again, the A bead is the trellis pattern, the B bead is the background, of course, and then the bicone. So I'm just going to put this aside. I'm going to pull in really close, and the written pattern should be somewhere at the top of the screen. Like occasionally throughout the video, my hands will obscure it a little bit, but I think you will always be able to see it well enough. All right, so you're going to thread your needle with about 5 feet of thread, put on a stop bead, and leave about, 6 to 8 inch tails, something you can sew in. So we're going to do a little odd count peyote. Now don't leave me here. You can do this. All right, so we're going to pick up and drop down to our stop bead. So here, let me just drop these down, and then we'll get a close-up here. 1 A, 2 B's, 3 A's, 5 B's, 3 A's, 2 B's, and an A. Is this what you want to have on your thread, and you want to drop it down to your stop bead? So I'm just going to let you get all that situated and then come back and we'll start beading. Okay, let's get beading. So these beads that we just put on are going to be rows 1 and 2. And then what we're going to do now is put on row 3. And when we put on row 3, all the beads are going to shift into place. So this is always so difficult for me to get to do this on camera, but I'm going to do my best. So the first 2 beads we're going to put on are going to be A beads. So row 3, we're going to pick up an A, skip the bottom bead, and sew through the following bead. You want that bead, move my finger in a second, to pop next to the previous bead. All right, we're going to put another A bead. We're exiting this blue one. We're going to skip this one and sew through the next one. So now we have 2 A beads on. The next bead is going to be a B. So skipping this one, sewing through the next one. Next one's going to be an A. Skipping this one, sewing through the next one. Next bead is going to be a B. Skipping this one, sewing through this one. Next bead is going to be an A. Skip this one, sew through this one. Like that. Next bead is going to be a B. Skipping this one, sew through this one. This is what I have so far. Now we have to put our last 2 beads on, so those are going to be A beads. So we're going to start with one A, skip this one, sew through this one. Make sure that bead pops up where it should be, just like that. And then we have that 1 bead left. So in odd count peyote, we're going to have to get that bead on. So we want this bead, this last bead, to sit next to that top bead, like that. So all you're going to do is you're just going to pick up your A bead. You're going to sew through that top bead, the one underneath it, and then the one on the diagonal. So those 3 that are just in the top corner. I'm just going to pull gently, and then I'm going to pop it down with my finger and then pull. Just give it a little bit of a snug, or a tug. And then I just want this thread coming out of here. So we're just going to move the thread by sewing through this bead and this bead, the blue one above it, and the one on the diagonal, like that, and then down through the top bead. And that sets me up to put more beads on. So this is exactly what you should have at this point. So get that done and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, so now we're going to continue on with row 4. But just a little note, just for those of you who haven't done this that much, if you want to check the row that you put on previously, all you have to do is look at the up beads here and look at your, let's say, row 3. Okay, so on row 3 I have 2 A's, a B, and a B, and then 2 A's. So I know that those beads are on correctly. Okay, because sometimes the first few rows can twist. So anytime you sort of, kind of lost your way, you can always look at your previous row and your pattern, and then you know where you are. Okay, so let's go to row 4. I'm going to put on an A. So now we're just going to pick up a bead and sew through the next sticking out bead. So an A goes on first. And then I'm going to put on 2 B's. So 1, 2, so I have my 2 B's on. Then I'm going to put on 2 A's. So 1 and 2.
2, and then 2 Bs, and it will all straighten out as we go on. So 1 B, there's my second B, and then we're going to pop on the last bead, which is an A. Okay, now we're going to go back up. Row 5, 1A. Then we're going to put on, the next 3 beads are going to be B beads, so 3 Bs, 1, 2, and 3. So I have my 3 Bs on, then an A, I'm going to go for 3 Bs again. 1, 2nd B, 1 more, now we have to do our odd count turn again. So we're going to pick up the last bead is an A. So here I picked up my A. I'm just going to sew through this top A, the one underneath it, and then the blue one underneath that one. So there's 3 in the corner on the diagonal right there. You can do that each time you make this turn at the top. Just going to pop it into place like that. Exiting here, I want to exit here. All I'm going to do is sew through the bead next to the one I'm exiting. This one on the diagonal and then the one above it. Just working my way around the beads so I can exit this one. And the way we do it is so that there's no thread showing. And we end up in the right place. So there you go. That's our row 5. Let's go to 6. An A. And then the next 2 beads are going to be Bs. B, B, and then I'm going to put the next 2 beads on are going to be A's, A, A, and then, oops, and the next 2 beads are going to be B's, and then an A. Okay, this is what we have so far. See the pattern starting to emerge. So just get to this point and then come back and we'll carry on. Okay, let's continue with row 7. So we're going to put on 2 A's. A B, an A, now we're going to start a little decrease. So we're just going to sew through the next 2 beads on the diagonal. So these 2 A beads, this one and this one, like that. So we're just going to be making some room for that bicone. And then an A. A B. And then the last 2 beads are going to be A's. So we're going to put on 1 A. Then we're going to do our turn. Like that. Let it pop over. over. Now I just want to move my thread so it's exiting here. Sewing through this bead. This one and the one on the diagonal. And then down this one. So now I can put some more beads on. Let's go to row 8. 1B. And I'm going to put on 2 A's. So that's 1, 2. And then we're going to continue making space in there by just sewing through the next 4 A beads. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can do them just one at a time. 2. 3 and 4. Okay. And then we're going to pick up an A. Put on an A. Another A. And a B. There we go. We have row 8 completed. And let's go one more row. Go to row 9. So we're going to pick up an A, a B, and an A. Then we're going to pick up one A, a 4mm bicone, and one A. And we're just going to skip over these 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and oops. Let's do that again. We're going to skip over the next 5 beads, sew all of these, and sew through the next sticking out A. Just like that. To place our bicone. Pick up an A, a B, and then we have to put one more A bead on. So pick up an A, we're going to do our turn, pop it over, sew through this one, these 2, and then down through this one so we can put some more beads on. All right, so there we go. This is where we are. Let me just pick it up. There we go. So get that done and then come on back and we'll carry on. Okay, we're back, so let's go to row 10. So pick up a B, a B, an A, pick up an A, and you're going to sew through the 11-0 bicone 11-0 that we had put on. So just picking up an A and sewing through those 3 beads. See that? Pop that A into place. Pick up an A. Another A. And a B. Okay, let's go to 11. So I'm going to put on 2 A's. So 1, 2. Pick up a B. Put on a B. Now you're going to pick up 5 of your A beads. So we're going to surround the bicone. So sort of, I guess, increasing a bit. So here we have the 5 A beads. I'm going to sew through the next sticking out A, which is the one right here. See that right there? And you want to leave this loose. Don't make it tight. Don't pull it tight because we're going to have to get through those beads again a little bit. So you want to make sure there's space there. Okay, so you put those 5 beads on. You're exiting this A. Pick up a B. And then your last 2 beads are going to be A's. So 1 A. And now we're going to do our turn. Make sure that stays loose, those 5 center beads. Then we're going to do our turn. Through these 3, pop your bead over, and then sew through the bead next to the one you're exiting, the one on the diagonal, and then the one above it. And then this one. Okay, so now we are here. We do one more row, row 12. Pick up an A. Put on your A. A B. Put on your B, sewing through this B. And then you're going to pick up a B and you're going to sew through these 5 beads. So the A beads that are around the bicone. So we're putting this B right here. So I'm just picking up the B. I'm going to sew through all these beads. It's going to pop that in place. Down these 2. Then you're going to pick up a B. And you're exiting, see the bottom seed bead there, the A, just going to take a B and sew through that. Next B, and then another B, and an A. So we're getting there. So this is what it looks like so far. All right, so just get those 3 rows done and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, let's continue. So row 13, pick up an A. Put on an A, then 2 B's, so 1, 2, then pick up a B, and you're going to sew through the 3 A beads in the center of those next 5 A beads. So here are the 5 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to sew through the center 3, so it's going to be this one, and this one. So right here, so you have a B on your needle. You're sewing through these 3 beads, like that. That's going to place that B right there. Then we're going to pick up a B, put on a B right here, so we're exiting here. We're going to put the B through here, through this B. Another B. It's the only really tricky part, but you'll get it. B. And then we want to do our turn. So we need an A. So through these 3 guys up at the top. Yeah, you're an expert at that now. And then move your thread. So you are exiting here. Okay, that's what it looks like. Let's go to row 14. 1 A. 2 B's. 1. 2 B's. 1 A, 2 B's. Pick up an A. And you're going to sew through the center bead of the next 3 beads. So here are these 3, the 3 A beads. Just sew through that center bead. And that's why I wanted you to keep it loose, so that you'll have the space to sew through that. And it goes on very easily. You might just have to maneuver your needle a little bit, if you keep it loose, it will work fine. Pick up another A, put that one on. Two B's, 2 B's, and an A. Okay, that's what we have so far. So the hardest part is done. And then row 15, I'm gonna go for 2 A's. A B, an A, a B, an A, and a B, and then the last 2 beads are going to be A's, so we're going to put on our first A, like that, and then we're going to do our turn. So we've gotten our bicone on, and we're ready to continue. All right, so come on back, and we have 2 more clips of rows to do till we complete the pattern repeat. So we're getting there. All right, so come on back and we'll continue. Okay, row 16. So B. I'm going to put on 2 A's. So A. And then 2 B's, 2 A's, and a B. Let's go to row 17. A, B, A, 3 B's, and an A, and a B, and we're going to do our turn. An A, like that, move our thread, and then row 18, a B, 2 A's, two B's, two A's, and 1 B. Oops. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is what we have so far. So get to that point and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, let's continue with row 19. So we're going to put on 2 A's. I'm going to B. Then an A. Then a B. Then an A. Another B. And then our last 2 beads are going to be A's, so 2 A's. That's 1. And then we're going to do our turn with the second A. Now I'm ready for row 20. So an A, 2 B's, 2 A's, 2 B's, and an A. Go to row 21, an A, now I'm going to put on 3 B's. That's 1, 2, 3 B's, 1 A, 3 B's, 'and an A. So making the turn. Go. Row 22, an A, 2 B's, 2 A's, 2 B's, 'and an A. All right, so now you have all of your rows on, 1 through 22. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go back to row 7 and you're going to repeat rows 7 through 22, 7 through 22, 7 through 22 until you have almost the length of your bracelet, like minus maybe, you know, 1/4 of an inch or a little less than that. So for me, that took about 10 repeats of the bicone for me to get my, I think it's like 6 3/4 inch bracelet. Of course, you have to take into consideration your clasp as well. And one other thing, your last repeat, you know, when you do the 7 through 22, you want to do the very last one you put on, you want it to be 7 through 17. So 7 through 17 is going to be your last repeat. So you don't want to go all the way to 22. You want to go to 7 through 17. So 7 through 22 until you're almost done, then 7 through 17 on your very last repeat. That's just going to make it look exactly like this end. So the ends are the same. I mean, if you don't do that, it's not a big deal, but it will make the ends the same. All right, so get that done and then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, let's get this clasp on. So the easiest clasp in the world, and I think so beautiful. So this is the clasp, and it's got 2 channels, one here and one here. And these little flaps open up. You slip your piece right through the channel, just like this. And you want to make sure
that it's open enough, and sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's open a bit too much. So I would suggest, you know, that you just sort of gently squeeze it to where it fits through, you know, snugly, but it doesn't pull. Okay, that's good. And you could use pliers that have rubber right here so that you don't mar the surface. So there we go. That's what it looks like. And then all you want to do is you just want to push this down. And I'm just going to use, actually I'm going to use the end of my little tube here to push it down. So you just want to close this up by going like that. And you'll just push it down really nicely. And you'll close this one. You can hold it on your table and give it, you know, or a flat surface and give it a push. And then you have one end of your clasp on. And isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. I think that's so pretty. And you know, I have a video where I show several different endings for a peyote piece. So I'll link that down below in case you want to do a different ending. So here, I'll pull this out. And then I'll put this piece on. So let's pop this piece in. And I'll just give that a push down. And that one, push that one down. And now I have my bracelet done. And you just slide it in like that. And there you go. So here, let me put it on. Just have to go off camera to put it on. And then we'll pop it on. Oh, and it's perfect. So here we go. That's what it looks like. Oh, I love it. It's perfect. It's just like the perfect fit. And over time, you know, everything stretches out. So it's going to stretch a teeny bit. So I can get my finger in there, which is good. And I know that it's going to stretch a little bit. So the fit is going to be just perfect. All right. So here you go. Here's our Vickie's Empress Bracelet with inclusions. And I just love that she challenged me to figure this out. And as I said, I am not a peyote expert. I don't write peyote patterns. I did my best, you know, with what information that I have. I hope it's easy for you to make it. I hope you make it and have fun playing with it. And, you know, you can do this increase, decrease thing with really any piece. Just experiment a little bit. All right. So I want to thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.